Okay, so this question has basically become one of the 7 biggest questions of the universe or something like that, including things like who really assassinated John F. Kennedy, the whereabouts of Half-Life 3, are we alone in space, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll, and so on. It's important that we understand the real truth behind it, because it's one I really don't feel like many people know. So this is what really happened to GTA 6. What we first need to understand here is very important. We need to take into consideration what we all expected of the idea behind GTA 6, and why exactly the theoretical game itself has stayed nothing more than a mere ghost in the shadows, with such little information regarding its details that people have ended up building up entire careers off of milking the topic, some even to an extent that former GTA 5 voice actors have come out to condemn them as being plain clickbait, but that's not what this video is. I'm prepared to settle this once and for all. Now, on a usual occasion, I would go back in time and try to review the history of games created and produced by Rockstar Games, and try to put on some detective outfit with a magnifying glass and the whole 9 yards just to make my point clear. But that's not necessary right here, because we should all know this. The producer of the entire GTA series, being a limited liability company, is obviously in it for one main goal: to make that heist money. Except without the heist. It's just the truth behind any company, so it's to be expected that everything that they do or create will always be in the best interest for their financial situation, which is why it's about time to jump into the specifics. Grand Theft Auto 5 was the most profitable game in the year it was produced, and continued beyond in the top 10 for about 5 years afterwards, only being outperformed by more recent games such as the newest in the Call of Duty series and Fortnite, at least back when Fortnite existed. But even then, the power of GTA Online still ousts basically all other games in its category, and still brings in hundreds of millions of dollars on a yearly basis, even to this day. GTA 4 had an online mode, however, nowhere near as elaborate and continually well produced. I mean, have you personally heard of GTA 4 Online? Maybe if you're a veteran to this series, but never has it ever been easier to get continual entertainment on an almost non-stop basis from one single game than right now in today's age. Especially with the newest GTA 5. Rockstar Games hit a proverbial gold mine, and I'm pretty sure that they knew it quite well. So they just went with it, focusing all of their GTA design team's efforts into continuing its own success, leaving the concept of GTA 6 in the dust. And let's just be real here, what's preferable on a practical sense? Spending millions or billions of dollars and years creating a new game that will be sure to do great within the first month or two, and generate you profit that will run your company for maybe a year or more, or put in marginal effort into adding new few features into an already extremely profitable money machine like GTA 5 Online for twice the reward in a fraction of the time. I don't think you need to be a physics bio major professor to answer that question. This same concept is the reason why games like League of Legends and World of Warcraft have been able to keep up success for literal decades. After a certain point, a precipice in time maybe, the risk to reward, also known as the work being put in for the profit getting out, only gets better and better, because people will never want to stop playing an already created game if there's always new things to do in it. But that answer sucks. That can't actually be the real reason, right? I mean, after all, people will eventually get bored no matter what. Surely they will. It's been 7 years after all, the PS5 has officially been released, and yet still, not even an announcement. So what happened? In reality, a lot more than what we may see. GTA 6 wasn't going to be GTA 6 at all. At least not in the way that people view the GTA franchise as we've known it up to today. And that's because the details of what the game was supposed to be are not even secret. To understand why, we need to understand the drastic change in society throughout the turn of the last decade. To put it simply and straight to the point, there was a GTA 5 era, and then there's now. And those two different time periods are the very standard of what set the tone of both of these games, only one of which coming into fruition. It's the early 2010s, and GTA 5 is being developed. There's so much room for a variety of different character developments, explicit and touchy nature, with dark story aspects to top it all off, and to paint the picture of a traditional American-esque style action drama story. All controlled by none other than you. There are no limits, with very little obstacles to overcome, and basically nothing at all to worry about. I think it all goes without saying that between then and now, the overall infrastructure of our society has changed quite a lot. almost starting right after the release and era of GTA 5. So without getting too much into the politics and stuff, we can all agree that the socio-economic climate, wow, that's a big word, has shifted to a more PC and inclusive age of thinking. No longer as much freedom and thought of expression, especially in the field of mainstream entertainment, mostly due to the generational shift happening as millennials replace the age of boomers in all non-sarcastic terms. Seriously, that's basically what's happening. So because of this, the company producing games to a large portion of that exact market ran into a conundrum. GTA 6, set in the southern portion of the United States of America's type land area, recreated in an imaginary fashion known as the United Districts, most likely a Vice City style region, would not have been called GTA 6 at all. Nor would feature the traditional Grand Theft Auto to be specific either. These details were leaked by an inside information outlet working alongside of Rockstar Games back in 2016. And later accidentally indirectly confirmed by an employee. And you best believe the milk-thirsty clickbait Cernando wannabe channels went crazy over this one for years. The main character was interchangeable and selectable, at least according to the supposed original game design document, but by default, it would have been a female for the first time in GTA history, also going along with the expected new inclusive business plan. Now overall, the details are hazy and not confirmed, and if they were, well, you wouldn't be watching this video after all. But from the best account of collected information, we can deduce that this game's main story was to be involved with an international drug mission between the United Districts, being the United States, and South America, in Pablo style. So that's great, everything is going to plan so far, until this happens.
Sorry to keep you waiting, complicated business.
Donald Trump gets elected, and this changes everything. Unfortunately, the entirety of the business model funding the structure of GTA 6 was formulated in a hypothetical era of time in the American history that did not include the effects of Trump being president, which in turn completely dampened the storyline and hence game revolving around it as well. We even have a quote from an executive at Rockstar Games that reinforces this idea. It's really unclear what we would even do with it, let alone how upset people would get with whatever we did. It's hard to satirize for those reasons. Some of the stuff that you see is straightforwardly beyond satire. It would be out of date within 2 minutes. Everything is changing so fast. So based on the very words of Dan Houser himself, the boss behind Rockstar Games, we can see that the style and the very construct of the GTA concept is based around mimicking reality in a generalized way, and due to the world itself being at this point virtually unmimicable in any politically correct fashion, a theoretical GTA 6 was never fully in the picture, at least not what we would have ever expected it to be. So you can blame the whole world for that one. Thanks, everyone. We literally ruined GTA by ruining the actual world. But don't get your hopes down, the next GTA game is definitely in development as confirmed recently, and definitely is an inevitability. But what it will be might very well alter the idea of what a GTA game truly is entirely. So folks, that's what really happened to GTA 6. I hope I was able to cover this in an entertaining fashion and hopefully teach you something new, and in the future, we're definitely going to have a GTA 6, but it's going to basically not be a GTA 6. Even though that doesn't make any sense, I guess we'll just have to wait and see to find out for sure. But anyways, until we do know for sure, that's all I'm going to say in this video. I'll see all of you guys in the next one.